If you are trying to heal your gut, I want to teach you today how not to food journal. So this is one of my earliest ever recordings. There's so much dust on it of when I used to keep a food journal. And this is about 2008, 2009-ish, kind of starting my journey, but I was doing it all wrong. So you're going to see, I'm going to show you an actual page, but you're going to see different colors, different little dots, and I'm going to explain what all of this was because I want to also be able to explain why to not do a journal like this if you are trying to heal your gut or any other kind of chronic illness. So let's just take a look today we will look at Tuesday, May 20th. And I just want to show you some different things that I did on this page and that are very similar to how many people go about food journaling. So at the time, I did Weight Watchers because I thought that the way to reduce my bloat and to feel better would be to eat fewer calories and to follow some kind of proven system. So I did Weight Watchers. So at the top every day, I would write how many points I was going to be allotted for that day. And at the time, I did the least amount as possible. So my standard points is so embarrassing to admit, but it was 18. And so I would carry over any from the following day that I had, or from the previous day that I had left over, and I would carry them over. So this day tells me that I had 23 points to work from. Then I would put the date, and this one doesn't have any year, so I don't know exactly what year it was, but I think it was 2009, right at the beginning of my journey. Put the date. Then I had two different symbols, and the red one was the E, and that was if I stayed within my points for the day, and the W was the blue one, and that was if I did my workout for the day. Because every single day, I wanted to make sure I was eating a certain way and working out in order to get rid of my bloat. That's what I thought at the time. So at the top, I would food journal, I would write food/vitamins, and then I would write points because remember, I was doing Weight Watchers and that's how I was calculating versus doing calories at that time. So I would write the food I was eating, how many points it was, and then in the far right-hand corner, I would write how many left for the day I had then. And so at the time, foods that had the least amount of points was superior for me and in my opinion. So 0 points was a big win to start the day for me. And I would go through my day and I would just write out all the different foods and vitamins or supplements I was taking. So you can see I had 3/4 cup Rise and Shine, and this was a type of oatmeal that I would make. Raisins, banana, apples. Then I made note that I had a B complex, which is just a vitamin. And then I just kept on with my day writing different foods I had until I got to the end of my day and I see that I had eaten a total of 21 points, which means that I had a few left over for the day. Then what I would do is I would do my workout type. And on this day I rested, which was indicated by not giving myself that blue circle. I would in addition to doing the workout type, I always kept track of the length and calories burned. And then because I was doing Weight Watchers, it was also activities points earned. Then I just would do total points. And then at the bottom, I gave myself a very small amount of space to write overall feeling. And on this day, I noted that my mouth was super annoyed, burning, frustrating to talk. I had a sore throat a little bit, small bowel movement after lunch, and just overall a super annoyed mouth. I had a lot of mouth problems that manifested with my chronic digestive issues. And then I would just make note of how much water I drink. So this is a very good example of how not to keep a food journal if you are trying to heal your gut. And the reason why is because what this really was conducive for is eating less and working out more. And it had no way, shape, or form was it going to indicate how my stomach was doing, what I was doing to heal, and all the other lifestyle things. All right, now let's move on to how you can food journal in order to make a difference on your gut healing or chronic illness journey. So this is my journal. It's called Healing Blooms from Within. And this is a proven system that I created and developed over time in my decade-long journey of healing my gut. So I just want to show you some of the very basic things and the ways that you would go about keeping a food journal in order to heal your gut and or your chronic illness. So some pieces that are very, very important to this would be at the top, you can see that I have the month, the day, and the year. And the month, the day of the week, and the date. And the reason this is important is because sometimes you will want to go back and make note of what days of the week certain things landed on. There's a myriad of reasons why this might be helpful, but that is one thing that is included. Another thing that is important on your journey, especially and only if you are female, is your cycle day. So that is something that is really important to track. Which day of your cycle are you on? Every single day, I do something where I practice daily gratitude. I used to have a one-liner daily gratitude journal, and I absolutely loved it. And so instead of keeping all these different journals for my healing journey, I decided to mesh all my favorite things into one place. So now at the top of every single page, there is a place to write daily gratitude. And then there's different things like your energy levels, how much you're sleeping at night, your bowel movements, on the Bristol stool scale, are they a 1 or are they a 7? Do you have more constipation or more diarrhea? What time did you go to the bathroom? All of those things are very important. Your mood, what was the overall mood for the day? How much water did you have? When you worked out, and if you worked out, how high of an intensity workout did you do? Was it super easy? Did you just take a walk or do some yoga and stretching? Or did you do high intensity training intervals for 45 minutes to an hour? It's super important that you would make note of that right here. And then just overall rating your day. Now, I want to break this down a little bit more. So as you saw before in the things that you would not do, I kept track of everything I did throughout my day. And I still do that, and I still teach and preach that for how to keep your own food journal. The only thing is it looks a lot different. We don't count calories, we don't count points, we don't count any of that. What we count and what we look at are things that matter for your gut health and your gut healing journey. Things like foods you're eating, what ingredients are in it, what time you're eating it, symptoms that happen after it, before it, during the eating. What is your environment like as you're eating? Were you eating when it was a very stressful conversation? All of those things we take into consideration. And what I did in my journal, and something that can be very helpful for you if you want to create your own journal, is I made it a bullet style journal meets regular. So this I have in my journal. There's a key that you can have if you want to get this journal, and I just have a key for all different gut health and gut healing things. So like, let's say I start my day with eating, then I would write an F because I know that means food according to the key that I have in here. If I take a supplement, that would be an S. If after I have breakfast, I notice that I have a lot of gas and bloating, I would write G, and then I would write that out. And so in G in my system means just like a gut symptom. And there are so many things that you can customize on your own in addition to all of the standard things that I already have put down. But what I want to tell you, and what I think is just very important, regardless if you have this journal or if you make your own, which by the way, if you want to make your own, there is a whole tutorial on a gutsygirl.com called How to Create Your Own Bullet Journal for Gut Healing. And I teach you this process. I teach you how to create this. But what's important is that you want to make sure that you're going through your day and keeping track of the important things, not the calories, not the fat, not the workouts and how much more you think you can eat because of the workouts. Because the truth is that a lot of times what you're going to see is that your gut symptoms and other issues that pop up throughout your days intensify on the days when your workout intensity is at a 7, 8, 9, or 10. You'll also make note and start to make the correlations around how much you're eating and how much sleep you're getting. On my journey, if I would sleep between 7 to 8 hours, I noted always on those days I felt a lot hungrier and I didn't feel as well. The days I would get 8 or more hours of sleep the night before, I felt so much better and so much less hungry during the day. And that's just one example. But if you want to really heal your gut and you want to take advantage of learning the right system, check out the free resources on my website or grab a copy of this journal. This journal is called Healing Blooms from Within, and it is my personal proven system to help you do food journaling for gut healing. And that's it. So I really just wanted to share my journal with you today because I think it is super important that people understand that when you're trying to heal your gut, you're not trying to also do all the things. And it's super important that we remember that healing our gut doesn't mean necessarily always that you have to lose weight or that you have to work out more. In fact, I really, really, really want people to understand that the more you focus on this conflicting goal, which is losing weight, working out more, and healing your gut, the longer it's going to take you. So this is the first journal that I ever had that I was showing you before, and I have just been going through this and paging through it, and I'm just amazed at how long I kept up with this with no results. Literally with 0 results. I tried everything. So I showed you in the video that I had a whole point section. Well, over time, because my gut wasn't feeling better and because I kept gaining even more weight and feeling even worse, what I did then is I started to play with high carb and low carb, and of the points I could have on any given day, I would assign a certain amount for carbohydrates. So you can see here that this was a high carb day. And so I knew that 9.5 of my Weight Watchers points had to come from carbohydrates. And I kept even more and more meticulous track of this stuff. I can see down here, this is when I was taking Canasa, which is a suppository that I took for colitis that did nothing for me because I didn't change my lifestyle. But I can see here that I did that, and by that time I was doing that because I thought I had to keep doing more, and I had to, try to manipulate the calories and the fat and the working out in order to get better. And I can see that over time I just didn't get better. I mean, towards the end of this, I'm still writing smelly gas at 7 a.m. and a bowel movement. Mouth was awful, 2 red dots in my cheek, loose, crummy bowel movements. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and I kept getting worse the more I tried to control the things that didn't matter. And so that's why I am so passionate about my journal, Healing Blooms from Within. This is the white covered one. There's also a pink covered one. Because what I did in this journal is I created a system to help people with their own food journaling for gut healing or healing in general. A lot of people that have chronic illness, you love this journal, or if you have any kind of skin conditions you're trying to get to the bottom of, or anxieties, anything that you're really trying to get to the bottom of, keeping a journal in this manner will be life-changing. And so what I have in mind is a ton of information. There's a Bristol stool chart. There's weekly check-ins. There's monthly check-ins. There's notes. There's quotes. There's everything that you can think of that really is going to help you on your journey. So I hope that this has been helpful for you today, and I hope that you will see that there is a better way to journaling for gut healing.